we're gonna go straight to it. We're gonna get into your story, Johnny. You know, give us a little rundown on how you started into wrestling and everything. I'm not gonna get too deep into your life story, but I mean, if you want to go into it, I'm open book. Okay, I'm cool with that. All right. So go ahead, give us a little rundown on how you started and everything.
As far as getting into wrestling, growing up, I always was into wrestling, real like most kids. But I always felt like I wanted to be the Black Reed Flair. I didn't see enough people that looked like us on top. So my goal was to be that guy. So I went through high school amateur wrestling. I was pretty good. Won a couple of regional district championships. When I turned 18, graduated, went to Bethune-Cookman.
BCC.
Right. Came back home to Fort Lauderdale. And you know, down south, you know how you get caught up. And the problem I've always had, I ain't gonna say always had, but see, I come from one of them families where I have a lot of strong Black women in my life. In my circle. So not that it wasn't enough men around, but my dad was out doing his thing. My dad had a whole bunch of churn, so my mom was just holding it down. I had my aunt. So my visual of strong people was the women that was in my life. So I don't, let me see, I don't know if that had a lot to do with, I guess we like, how would you say, probably our environments?
Yeah.
So when you see strong people, you kind of like follow them. Well,
and you emulate what you see.
Exactly.
That's
so
what you learn. That's your goals about wanting to be like
when
this.
I was 11 years old, my dad had a younger brother that got in prison. So my uncle was kind of like one of them ladies' men or whatever. You know, ladies was always at him, always at him. At this time, my dad wasn't in the house anymore. So my mom worked for the Broward Sheriff's Office. So she worked from 3 in the evening to 11 o'clock at night. Right. So my uncle moved in. Now, being a child, I didn't know, you know, we used to play G.I. Joe and stuff. I didn't know how life works or whatever. So I'll never forget one night, my uncle's son, my brother in the bed, and he told me, hold on. He said, he was more like, how can I put it? He said, oh, if you ever tell anybody about this, I'll kill your mom and your brother down. So for a long time, from the age of like 11 to about 13, my uncle used to mess with me, and I felt that's what I had to do to keep my family safe.
Wow.
Yeah, it's crazy. I can talk about it now, but yeah.
Yeah, but before you couldn't talk about it.
Oh no. And then,
how old were you when you were able to start talking about it?
Maybe I want to say 2 years, maybe like 13, because at this time my uncle had started dating this lady.
Okay.
And he was doing the same thing to her son, but she caught him red-handed.
Well, God don't like ugly. Well, I say that all the time.
So,
man.
And that's so hard for a child, because exactly what you said, you have to protect your family. It's not just about your feelings. It's I gotta protect these strong women. My role models.
And then my younger brother and sister, them, you know, it's you know, it, especially the dad not being there. So the responsibility does fall on you. So it's, you know, it's crazy because, you know, like going through life, you know, the first thing that throws me about, I don't want to say heterosexual, but you know, guys will look at you and they give you, they don't know my story. You don't know what I've been through. You only see this, but you don't know the whole, you don't know who I am. You get what I'm saying? You know, about 12 years after that, God blessed me to have my own son. And the crazy part about it is that not only that, my baby mom, she was kind of borderline, so I didn't have to act a certain way or be a certain way. We had an understanding, which worked out beautifully. How I got into wrestling, kind of fast forward, I'll never forget. I was you remember the Brick House back in the day in Fort Lauderdale? It was
not Wynwood.
No, it was in Fort Lauderdale, but it was called the Brick House. It used to really be popping like Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
You know, I used to go to Iguanas a lot.
Yeah, well, yeah, it was something like that, but it was like,
Bermudas. Boy,
how many times you ran into your teachers in Iguanas?
Iguanas? I don't know, boy. Iguanas, I was like kingpin. Ask anybody about what Razorblade Will and Iguanas back in the day, boy, I was the man.
But what was your nickname back then? Was it just Will? Did you have
it? Will. It was just Will. Razorblade Will came, I'm going to say,
years later?
Yeah, I'm gonna say a couple years ago when I went to New Orleans with my cousin. Shout out to my cousin Chance. Chance. Yeah, Chance. We was in New Orleans and we were talking to some girls, and I was feeling their energy. I felt like they were just playing us, and I was like, man, I just stop cutting them up with the words, and then he was like, Razorblade Will. I was like, yep, Razorblade Will. I'm chopping their ass up because I ain't got time to let them go. They playing. And so that's how the name come up. But back to you, back to your story.
We good. That's how we're supposed to be fighting.
So,
and how I got into wrestling. One night I'm at Denny's. I'm taking
how old were you?
22.
Okay, still young.
So yeah, and I had a reputation when I got in high school and stuff. I could fight.
Okay.
Like. My cousin came home from the army.
You a big motherfucker.
I mean, but I ain't always want to be that. But being from our way, you had to learn. Yeah. So, I had a reputation of fighting stuff, but so anyway, we at Denny's. So these group of Jamaican dudes walk in. My dad is Jamaican, by the way.
Okay.
So it was kind of crowded. So the people I was with, of course, part of the LGBT community, people looking kind of strange, but we just. Trying to vibe in our own. So this Jamaican dude, as we walking out, I told him to go ahead. I was gonna pay for everything, whatever. As we standing there, I run into a dude I went to high school with. This dude named Derek. Derek, what's up, fam? This and that. So you can see the dude looking at him all crazy, like, man, you like, what's going on? But I didn't say nothing. So you can hear. First thing I ever heard, like Jamaican, burn fire, chi-chi man.
Oh, they say burn and
so,
oh no.
As I'm standing there, I look up, I say, Lord, I'm begging you, please give me the strength. Just to do what I gotta do. Just go. Yeah, I'm telling you on some real shit. Cause I have with all this nice, is how dude said, even with all this niceness, I could bring the same kind of hell too. So.
But that's hard because they judge you and it's like exactly you don't even.
And even you're not paying the crazy part. What I don't understand about a lot of stuff is if my lifestyle has nothing to do with you, how does it bother you?
Exactly.
If I don't get it twisted. There are some people out there being how I live my lifestyle. I live my lifestyle more of a class way. I don't like loud and over the top. I don't like all that. Not around me. That's not how I move.
Yeah.
But dude kept saying that, so I got a point. Every man has a point. You can only tolerate so much. So after the third time, the dude that went to high school, we looked at him and said, bro, listen, don't do that. That's not what you want. He telling them. Dude, rah. I let it slide as far as I can do. So by the time I'm like 2 people behind, ready to pay for it, he said something else. I was like, motherfucker, fuck you. I said, bitch, you don't like what we like. Get your ass on the boat and paddle your pussy ass back. Ooh. So I guess at that point, he felt like,
he wanted to fight.
But I'm about that. I'm about that. Trust me, I done been out nigga, but I'm about that.
Okay.
So I say, well, fuck that. I say, come meet me outside.
Like, what's up?
Bro, we completely break. As he comes, if you know how Denny set up, there's 2 central doors. This was on,
okay.
Ralph and Davie Boulevard. He used to be across from these apartments in Winn-Dixie.
Okay.
Dude walked out the snap, pop. At the time, I didn't know that Denny's have police officers in there dressed in regular clothes.
I didn't know that.
So this dude came out, he was like, oh, get on the ground. I'm like, fuck you. Pop. So now the dude, he trying to play the victim.
Oh no.
So he's gonna kill me. Yeah, no, but this is what you wanted. This is what I tried to walk. This is what you wanted.
Yeah.
So when the officer came out, I'm like, fuck you. I'm putting the things on him. I see like 5, 6 cars hit the corner. I'm like, oh shit. Man. Now keep in mind, I'm not afraid of the situation. What I'm more afraid of is my mama, because my mama worked for the Broward Sheriff's Office. So which is
kind of good for you on yours. All you got to do is make
but no, because I got to face her later.
I'd rather that than go in and be
true, but
Razorblade wins.